In this video we're going to look at creating a new workbook, including typing text, numbers, dates and formulas. First of all, to create the new workbook itself, we'll go File and then New, click on Blank Workbook and click Create. Just for a bit of terminology about the workbook, if we have a look at it, it has columns which have letters as their labels, and we also have rows which have numbers as their labels. There's lots of columns and lots of rows. You can have over 16,000 columns and over 1 million rows. At the intersection of each column and row there is a cell. So each little rectangle is called a cell, and it's all part of a worksheet, which is a part of the workbook. So this is a worksheet. This is called sheet 1 at the moment, but we can rename it. We have sheet 2 and sheet 3. That's how many sheets we've got right now, but we can have up to 255 worksheets as well. So first of all, let's start typing some text. I'm going to click in cell A3 and type large nails. Then I'll press enter, and that takes me down to the next cell. Now I'm going to add small nails, hammer, mallet and screwdriver. Now I'll add some headings in row 2. So in B2 I'm going to put my caps lock on and type QLD. You don't have to have caps lock on, it's just I wanted to have capitals for this. NSW. I'm pressing tab as I go here to take my cursor to the next cell. Okay, so I've entered text in all of the cells that I want to. Now I'm going to add some numbers. That's it, I've entered all my numeric data. Now I'm going to click in cell A9 and I'm putting another label in, that is text. Sales data entered. And press enter. Sales data reviewed. And then in cell B9 I'm going to put a date. Now dates are stored as numbers in Excel, which is great because we can use them in calculations. Then for example we can add a certain number of days to them. I'm typing 1/8, which Excel will recognize as being the 1st of August. So I'll press enter and there it is. Now if I go down to B10, I'm going to say equals B9, and then I'm going to say plus 30, so it's plus 30 days. Enter, and there we have it, 31st of August. So what you've seen there is a simple example of a formula. So equals B9 plus 30. Now we're going to start to use formulas to add up some of these columns. At a very simple level, I can say equals, and it would be B3 plus B4 plus B5, etc. So B3 plus B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus B7, and that adds up all of those for me. I press enter and there's my result. So that obviously works, but it would be quite cumbersome if you had a very long list of numbers. So there's a much quicker and easier way. If we type equals SUM, open brackets, and then I'm going to point to C3 in this case, and I'm going to click and drag down to C7, and that's the correct formula. I can press enter, and now my total is there. And doing the same thing in the next column and the next. And doing it for each column. Now that's obviously much quicker, but there is an even quicker way to get exactly the same thing in there, the same result. So if I click in H3 and I want to add up across all of those columns in this row, I can go up to my editing group in my home tab, and there's an auto sum button. So if I click on auto sum, it will look and try to recognize what numbers I'm likely to be trying to add up. It easily finds them, and I can just press enter and get that result. So click here and auto sum and enter. And I can also easily copy this formula down to these cells here. Right, I use this little black square down the bottom right hand corner of the cell called the fill handle, put my mouse over it until my mouse pointer changes into the black crossed lines, and click and drag down to the bottom here, and that's copied the formula down to where it needs to go, and it's kept it relative. If you look up here in the formula bar, it's kept it relative to the rows that it's supposed to be working on, so that's a very handy feature. Lastly, for this video, let's look at how easily we can change some data. Just take note of the total here and the total here, and perhaps over here, as I change 366 here to 266, press enter. Notice that my totals change straight away. I'll change that back to 366, and once again, those totals all change straight away. Similarly, if I go over to my date over here and I say not the 1st of August but 11/8, it's the 11th of August, watch the data in B10 change when I press enter. So that's gone to 10th of September now as well. So that's it. We've looked at creating a basic workbook. We've added text, we've added numbers, we've added dates, and we've added some easy formulas.